Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds of women's action in the bantamweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Her background is in judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. At 5 feet 5 inches tall, she weighed in officially 135 pounds. This young professional is perfect inside the cage. 4 bouts, 4 victories, and no defeats. Fighting out of Poland, here is Agnieszka Niedzwiedz. And next, her opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. A mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 6 inches tall. She weighed in over the bantamweight limit, 137 pounds. In one bout, she has 1 win and no defeats. From Colchester, Essex, England, here is undefeated, rock-steady, Kerry Hughes. Referee in charge, David Swan.
Archery referee Mark Goddard in the cage now, about to get this women's bantamweight fight underway. A lot of support here for Kerry Hughes. Brought some fans with her, and once again we'd like to welcome you, our viewers watching live on Facebook around the world. I'm Brad Wharton, joined at the commentary position by Josh Palmer for Cage Warriors 62.
Let's see how long this feeling out process is here for these ladies. Both of them do like to throw big, heavy strikes.
Kerry Hughes in the black attire. Her opponent, Niedzwiedz, in the white. And it's Hughes taking the center of the cage.
Yeah, Niedzwiedz has a bit more experience in the pro ranks than Kerry Hughes, but a bit less time in the cage. Her fights haven't really gone the distance.
A nice right hand there from Kerry Hughes.
Yeah, timed it very nicely and straight on the chin, but Niedzwiedz seems relatively unfazed by that.
Another right hand landed straight down the pipe there. Niedzwiedz going to have to do something about that as this bout goes on. Going to get that head moving. Looking very stoic and calm in there, though, is the young Niedzwiedz.
Yeah, both of them very good, clean combinations so far. Really showing a few kicks and combinations to finish off those upper body strikes.
And the 18-year-old still looking very much like she's in the feeling out period of this fight.
Yeah, neither one of them's throwing with full power just yet. They're trying to find some openings, get the timing and the range down. Of course, everything's going to seem that little bit closer than you're used to in the gym.
Pouring with the jab and a nice right hand there from the 18-year-old.
Yeah, we know both these ladies have good chins on them.
And you get the feeling, Josh, that this one could explode at any second. A palpable sense of excitement here in the air at Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm already seeing a little bit of a welt under the eye of Kerry Hughes.
There's a definite swelling there under that left eye. Didn't quite see the strike that caused it, but...
Yeah, a good couple of straight shots landed from Niedzwiedz there. Taking the center of the cage and really pressing forward as she does in so many of her fights.
Both ladies turning up the aggression now. Head kick doesn't quite land there from Hughes.
I mean, it can often be so hard for a lot of the female fighters to find consistent fights and opponents, and sometimes they have long layoffs between matches, but Niedzwiedz has been very, very fortunate. 4 matches in the pro ranks in the last 14 months.
And as Cage Warriors heads into 2014, up to 18 shows planned next year, so these ladies will have a lot of opportunities to fight on a very big stage.
Yeah, some great women's bouts coming up on our New Year's Eve card in Dublin. Aisling Daly getting back into action there.
A veteran of the women's MMA scene in Europe is Aisling Daly. And Niedzwiedz catching the leg there, not able to do much with it. A judo background for the young Polish girl, so you've got to think she's going to be good in the clinch and confident in that position should the fight go there, Josh.
Yeah, and probably have very good upper body and core strength as well. So good combination from Kerry Hughes. But at the moment, I've got to say, Niedzwiedz is landing with a bit more consistency and accuracy.
Really finding a home for that right hand now. And a beautiful kick to the body there.
Yeah, really stretching herself out on those crosses as well.
Combinations coming in from nice angles, and it's really keeping Kerry Hughes guessing, but Hughes lands a nice left hook of her own there.
Got to say, these are already straighter shots than I've seen in footage of Niedzwiedz. Clearly spending a lot of time working on refining her striking. But, you know, also 3 out of her 4 wins are by TKO, so clearly she does have some power in them.
And despite being just 18 years of age, she's not looking like an inexperienced fighter in here, Josh.
No, very calm, very composed. Neither lady is over-committing too much here. Just timing each other very nicely. And both having their moments, but the wear and tear at the moment on the face of Hughes.
If you're enjoying this bout at home, don't forget to join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag CWFC62. You can follow us on Twitter at Cage Warriors or on Facebook. And that's 1 round in the bag, Josh.
Yeah, good round for Niedzwiedz, I feel there. Just probably getting the better of the striking, landing a bit more consistency. But at the moment, there's a very consistent and solid pace to this fight. Neither girl's really changing the tempo, stepping off with aggression on those angles. It's almost like a slightly amped up sparring match. So I'd really like to see one of them come forward and commit and really try and put the other firmly on the back foot.
A couple of nice right hands from Kerry Hughes there. Earlier in the round, it was Hughes landing the more powerful shots, but as the bout progressed, and as we can see here, Niedzwiedz landing with more volume from varied angles of attack, and we can see the damage adding up on the face of Kerry Hughes.
Yeah, but of course still 2 rounds to go. Niedzwiedz has never been to a 3rd round in her pro career, so let's see how this plays out as the fight goes deeper.
Connor doing a good job there of controlling that swelling. Got the end swell on that bump on the left eye of Kerry Hughes. Doesn't look like it's going to be troubling her. The eye's not closing up there. Cage Warriors veteran in her corner, the animal Jason Coolidge, shouting instructions now to Kerry Hughes. Hughes again trying to land that right hand, didn't quite get it through there. Slightly out of range was Niedzwiedz.
I'm really impressed by how calm both these fighters are, still fairly early on in their careers.
And as you alluded to earlier, the tempo really is like that of an aggressive sparring match. And
yeah, it was a good pick-up on the leg from Niedzwiedz. Here she is trying to get a good tie-up and a good frame from Hughes to create the space.
We're seeing 2 fighters here. Obviously, one fighter very young and one fighter just a second professional contest. Fighting on the big stage, and often, Josh, we'll see fighters get the jitters when they step up to the big stage and fighting in a big arena in front of a big crowd. But both these girls looking incredibly calm and composed in here.
Yeah, and clearly sticking to their game plans so far. What was really nice there was to see Niedzwiedz fire the shot straight away as soon as the space was created on the cage. It's those transitional moments that become so important in these contests, and doing a really good job there was the lady from Poland.
Doing a great job sitting behind that jab, using it to find the distance and set up other shots. She's putting a left hook behind it occasionally, a nice right hand. Hughes looking to counter with a solid right of her own. That's been her best shot of the fight so far, Josh, that right hand from Kerry Hughes.
Yeah, good volume from both ladies here, but I feel like perhaps Kerry Hughes has to do something to try and change the tempo or change the complexion of this fight, because at the moment Niedzwiedz is able to just keep stalking forward and just put her on the end of this jab and some of these lighter inside combinations.
Nice right hand counter there from the young Polish girl. Eagle-eyed viewers may have spotted that the women's division in Cage Warriors, we actually use white gloves instead of the usual Cage Warriors yellow. One for the trivia buffs amongst you out there on Facebook. Don't forget, hashtag CWFC62 to join in the conversation on social media.
That's one of the first times we've seen Hughes throw that high kick. It's something she really likes to hit with her combinations often.
The right hand landing a little bit more regularly now from Kerry Hughes.
Nice parrying from Niedzwiedz as well. Just using the palm to redirect those strikes. And immediately back in the face of Hughes.
And as soon as she sees an opening, she pounces, and she's landing 3, 4, 5 shots in a row. A nice combination, left and right. Now hurt Hughes. Hughes up against the fence now.
Yeah, and this is the thing. There isn't a huge amount of power in those shots, but when they land, and they're landing in volume, they really do start to disrupt your breathing and take you off balance. And she's really starting to move Kerry Hughes around the cage now.
Well, the jab, you know, such an important asset in a boxer's arsenal, and occasionally underused in MMA, I feel, and keeping that jab in a fighter's face, it blocks their vision as well. It gives you so many more options. You know, if you want to throw the knees up, if you want to follow up with kicks or even the right hand, keeping your opponent guessing with that nice left hand there from Kerry Hughes.
Yeah, Niedzwiedz completely unfazed though. Last minute of the second round here, and it's been much like the first, really. Niedzwiedz driving forward, landing with more of the volume.
And a couple of marks on the face of Niedzwiedz. The power shots from Hughes have landed, not as regularly as her opponents, but landed nonetheless. Left hook came within a whisker of landing there from Kerry Hughes.
I've got to say, another thing I like about the composure of Niedzwiedz is she's not getting drawn in to these big exchanges. She's getting out of the way, and then she's going back to work with her volume striking, but some good shots really finding their way through from Hughes now.
Hughes having to circle away, and every time she plants her feet, another combination comes. Hughes trying to finish strong. Nice body kick there. So we enter the closing seconds of this second round. And a second round very much like the first, Josh. The power shots landing from Hughes, but the volume coming from her opponent.
Yeah, the volume, certainly the cage control as well. She's taking the center and moving Hughes around every corner of this cage. Let's have a look at some of the replays here. This was the brief exchange up against the cage, but good exchanges from both ladies there.
Nice 1-2 combination from Hughes there. But the punches coming in bunches from her opponent. Hughes landed another one on the way in though. The margin probably a little wider in that second round in favour of the young lady from Poland. But Kerry Hughes still very much in this fight as we head into the third and final round of this contest.
I think moving into this third round, Kerry Hughes has got to do something decisive. She's probably down these 2 rounds, and you know, Niedzwiedz is probably just going to be content to keep going at this kind of pace. And I'm still surprised as yet that neither fighter has particularly tried to change the tempo. I think that's going to be key to stop this fight going pretty much the way it's been in the first 2 rounds.
Nice show of respect from these two ladies, touching gloves ahead of this third and final round. Kerry Hughes coming out very aggressive here. Really looking to put it on her opponent. Hughes now taking the center of the cage. Looking to walk her opponent back, but Niedzwiedz back in control here. Pouring out with that jab. Just looking for the opening when she can pound through those combinations that she's had such success with in the first 2 rounds of this fight, Josh.
Yeah, Niedzwiedz very going back to really what her game plan's been throughout the first 10 minutes. Hughes starting to get a bit more aggressive now. I think that's what she needs to do. It's, you know, this fight is probably going to slip from her grasp if she keeps going at this kind of pace.
Absolutely. That had to be the advice given from her corner. The guys from BKK Fighters.
Good underhook control from Niedzwiedz here. Hughes has got to create a frame, try and get some space in, but as you mentioned, the judo background for the pole.
just about to say, it looks like we may now get to see that judo background come into play.
Yeah, body lock, looking to turn the hip across.
Trying to send Kerry Hughes for a ride there was Agnieszka Niedzwiedz. Hughes takes the center of the cage once again and engages in the striking battle. A couple of decent shots landed, but she's being put on the back foot. Nice hook there from Kerry Hughes.
I mean, she is landing, but Niedzwiedz, I've got to say, is taking every one of these shots and just keeping coming forward. Very, very tough display from Agnieszka Niedzwiedz.
Both these girls showing an incredible chin. Both girls have landed many, many strikes, and both still coming forward with impunity. Both still looking spry as well in this third round.
Kerry Hughes is having some success with that left hook now, but time is ticking away. We've only got half of this round left.
Be very interested to see the stats on this one in terms of punches thrown and landed from these two ladies.
Yeah, good left hands from Niedzwiedz there, pushing forward for the clinch again.
Hughes again looking for the left. Doing some better work in the third round as Kerry Hughes having a little more success. Another nice left hand landed.
Yeah, perhaps starting to get a bit more confidence in coming forward now. Niedzwiedz is leaning back off every strike and trying to parry and just get a bit more distance.
It could be a case of all or nothing here for Kerry Hughes.
Well, what would be interesting would be if Hughes was to try and put some takedowns on the end of these strikes, because of course Niedzwiedz leaning back, trying to parry these away is going to put her off balance and allow Hughes to go straight in on the hips, but that's not clearly not in the game plan of Kerry Hughes so far.
The team, the Tal Gold fighter, equally adept on the ground as on the feet, so perhaps that's spinning back fist there.
Well, a bit of variation from her. Final minute now, she's really kept up a very consistent pace throughout this one.
And perhaps that grappling reputation is what's stopping Kerry Hughes from going for the takedowns here. She's been trying to land the power shot all night, Josh, and you've got to think as we enter the final seconds of this round, she's going to be looking for that one big punch.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that she hasn't connected. She's connected with quite a few shots, but Niedzwiedz just able to march through them and, you know, keep control of this cage and just keep getting those fists in Hughes' face.
And both ladies displaying Mark Hunt-esque chins throughout this fight. Both have taken some very sweet shots. Both still coming forward. A nice high head kick there. Kerry Hughes being told everything you've got for the last 20 seconds. Lands another right hand. Looking confident here in her striking is Kerry Hughes.
Yeah, both ladies opening up in the final exchanges here, but
an explosive finish to this third and final round, Josh. We're going to show respect from both fighters. Really fantastic display there. And if that's how the women's expansion here at Cage Warriors has started, I really hope that's how it means to go on.
I mean, it was a really nice work rate throughout that entire fight. Very consistent game plans from both ladies, really sticking to their guns on that one. But we are going to go to a judge's decision here. I have a feeling that Niedzwiedz has probably nicked this one, but let's take a look at some of these replays. And the right hand from Kerry Hughes, probably her best punch of the fight. Landed it repeatedly, put it in there behind the jab, had a lot of success with that, and there was that high head kick. Straight on the chin of Niedzwiedz. But the young girl from Poland shaking it off and carrying on, coming forward. As we saw that wild exchange from the end of the fight. Both fighters with a lot to be proud of from that performance. A real power versus volume competition, and we throw this one to Joe Martinez to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the scorecards. All 3 judges have it 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision from Poland, Agnieszka Niedzwiedz.
29-28 on all three scorecards, unanimous decision for the young lady from Poland. And we'll now go to Josh Palmer for the in-cage interview.